Hello and welcome to this special live stream event, Consumer Nightcap Expo Trends Exposed. The China International Consumer Products Expo has just wrapped up for 2025. A really big week, a veritable feast of consumer products from right across China and the world. And we're here to recap it, find out what we liked, what we didn't like perhaps, what we want to do perhaps next year. And I'm here joined by 5 beautiful ladies here with a wonderful, stunning backdrop of a sunset disappearing over on a little bit of a cloudy, cool Hainan day. Ladies, I'll bring you in here. I think we should introduce ourselves. My name is Lincoln Humphreys. I am an anchor on CGTN's Global Business Program. I'm from Australia originally, but live in Beijing now. And can you bring us in and explain and introduce yourself, and we'll work our way along the panel.
Yeah, sure. So hello everyone, this is Yusi coming to you from External Affairs Department at CGTN. So this is not my first time coming to Hainan, but I'm still very excited.
Yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Yu Hui. I'm from Russian Department of CGTN. So actually it's my first time being here at the Expo and in Hainan Haikou. So I look everything with curiosity, everything seems so interesting.
Okay. So hi everyone, my name is Nightcap. I'm a reporter from the opinion department. But I'm not here today to comment on anything. I just want to share some of my story because this is my first time in Hainan. It's also my first time attending Hainan Expo.
You can relax today. Hi everyone, I'm Melina Zhao from CGTN French, CGTN Français, which is the French channel of CGTN. And it's my second time in Hainan. I've been to Sanya before. It was the year before last year for holidays. So I fell in love with the beaches and the coconuts. But this time I got to discover Hainan as the business paradise that it is, and it was a wonderful experience and very interesting and exciting. Yeah.
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Liao Zhu, and I am news anchor from Sunshine Satellite TV of Hainan Broadcasting Group. I've been living here for 45 years, and I am a Hainan Expo veteran. And once again, welcome everyone to Hainan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us. It's my first time here as well. I had a great time. Really, really enjoyed it. What we're going to go through to start with, there were more than 4,100 brands represented at the Expo from 71 different regions and countries from right around China and the world. Each of those brands were contained in separate pavilions. So where I'd like to start is talking about what you thought was the most intriguing and interesting pavilion that you managed to attend throughout the week. We'll start again at the end of the table with you. Do you, Sue?
Yeah, sure. So I think what impressed me most is the pavilion Slovakia. Is that the exhibition hall number 4 will host over around, I guess, 17 exhibitors from over 17 countries. So that's really impressive. And the Slovakia pavilion, actually that's their first time showcasing at China. And many exhibitors told me that actually that's their first time coming to China as well. So they're looking for potential business partners and also expanding their consumer markets here. So I think that's one thing that really made me impressive. Yeah.
I want to share everybody the coolest thing I saw at the expo is a pavilion of company Yihang. They have a really cool aircraft. It's actually an eVTOL. It's just like a flying car that can then take off and land vertically. So the most interesting part is that there is no steering wheels and no control sticks inside, just a huge screen in front of the passengers. So everyone who's sitting here just need to set the route in advance so it can fly by itself. So it's really the future transportation. So I think it's the most impressive part of the expo.
I think I saw it. Is it made with AI?
I don't. Yeah, maybe the control system is with some elements of AI. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I saw the AI humanoid, the robots by Unitree. It's always surrounded by so many people on the side.
The dogs were very popular, chucking some flips, kids trying to go up and pat. That was really cool to see. Good interactive intelligence.
Yeah, so many robots on the side though on pavilion number 1, right?
Right. Yeah. I think there's a technology sector specifically designed this year for this year's expo, right? Did you see that robotic walking dog?
Yeah, the dog is so cute.
They didn't have a head. which I think is a little bit scary.
What do you pack? You know, you have to go straight to the back.
Yeah,
No head,
exactly.
no ears to scratch.
The dog is so cute because I think on the side, so there is a staff team to pick up the pills. So they set a program for the robotic dog to send the pills to maybe its grandma or grandfather. Yes, to elderly people, and they said they actually have like a small lawn inside that pavilion, and the program is set for the dog to go from maybe only one side of the room and then to the other side of the room with some obstacles for it, and you know, just to imitate the real life situation.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Tian, how about your
What impressed me
favorite?
most is also something related to Hainan. Well, it was actually something called the robotic exoskeleton. So it's kind of like something that you have seen from the movie The Wandering Earth. It's like a wearing suit, but it helps you to actually lift things like more easily. For example, I actually tried it on. Its weight is only about like 5 kilograms, but it can help you to lift up to 30 kilograms. So actually, it's being applied toward elderly people, mainly used in some nursing homes for the caregivers, because we know that China has entered a moderate aging society. Like it's normal to see like a 60-year-old that is taking care of an 80-year-old. So this is something that really can help these people to live not only longer but also healthier. So that's something that really impressed me.
And Melina, I think I know which pavilion you're going to say was your favorite.
The French pavilion, our crew mainly covered the French brands entering the Chinese market, or the ones that are here that have been on the Chinese market for a long time. So let me tell you about the French pavilion. First of all, I think you've all seen it, right? Because it was right across the CGTN studio at the Expo. And I think we all agree on one point. It was very elegant, the design, right?
Indeed.
Can you guess what was the architecture, what was the building it was inspired by? Because it looked, for those who don't know, who haven't seen it, it looked like a building. So, you've been here before, at the Expo before.
Yes. Maybe Champs-Élysées?
This time it wasn't.
Yeah, I
Was
know
it
it's
for
not
the previous
close.
years?
Yes, it was for the previous like 4 years.
Oh, it was always looking like a building?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You're right.
Oh, because I haven't, this is my first time at the Expo. So this time it was inspired by a historic building called the Grand Palais, the Grand Palais, which is the Grand Palais, which is a place that hosts art exhibitions, international cultural events, fashion shows. So the idea was that just like this iconic historic building, the French pavilion would bring cultures together and showcase the best of French savoir-faire and creativity. So that was the main idea. And it was beautiful. A lot of people stopped by to take pictures, very photogenic. Yeah. And do you want to know more about the French pavilion?
Can you teach us more like French?
I was about to say that. How do you pronounce that in French? The word you just said?
Le Grand Palais? Le Grand Palais. The Grand Palace. Yeah, that's a good. I think that's a good
Grand Palais.
translation. Le Grand Palais. Yeah. And this time, like every time, the French pavilion was, how to say, Business France is the agency who brought it to the exposition. Like every year, it's been there since the first edition, right? You know, and there were big names like L'Oréal, which Chinese consumers are very familiar with, and also newcomers like Super Diet. Super Diet is a brand. It doesn't sound very French, but it is. Super Diet is a brand of health supplements, which is very big on the Chinese market right now. And it actually chose this platform, the Expo, as the place to announce their launch in China. So it shows how big of a deal the exposition is, I think.
Yes, right.
And how about yourself? Which of the pavilions caught your attention the most, other than the French, of course?
So actually, I went to do a TikTok live stream on Pavilion #1. So same, it's for the Pavilion of Technology. But I think my memory, like what's left for me, is that I actually went to try this marine helicopter. That they, for a company, it's for the low altitude economy. And then there I was, I had a training session with some pilots, and he taught me how to drive, actually.
How did you go?
Did you fly?
I tried, maybe. So yeah, he taught me it's easy. So with your left hand controlling the height and your right hand controlling the direction, or the other way around. I forgot.
It doesn't sound
so
easy.
It's
Do that
easier.
before we go for a fly. But
It's easier than driving a car, I think.
Wow.
He told me that in the future it's going to be something everyone should probably involved into, because low altitude economy is into driving its momentum into the future.
Absolutely, yeah. It's certainly a big thing right across China and the world, and in Hainan as well. They've had a dedicated development program for the last few years, which will culminate next year for the low altitude economy in Hainan. Hoping for a lot of movement there. I guess the weather's nice to be flying around, so it's a good spot for it.
You're right.
Weather.
Yeah, for myself, I think similar to Melina, I'd be quite parochial in my favorite pavilion, and in terms of consumption as well, I do like eating. I mean, have a look at me, I haven't missed too many meals. But it was at the Australian Wagyu steak and Black Angus steak, where they were cooking it up fresh in there. It smelt wonderful, it tasted so good, and that's because it is the best steak in the world. So I'll be a little bit biased on it, but that was really nice to see that so deep in China. And Australian steak does really well right around the world, does very well in China, and it was great to see my home country represented in that way. But in terms of maybe the whole haul of the domestic Chinese market and the pavilions there with different regions represented, we got to spend time for a live stream at the Zhejiang Pavilion. Really nice tea, of course, but I really liked how old and new, I mean, China's a place with thousands and thousands, millennia of history, and how that was brought forward into contemporary products and consumption goods. And for an example, ginseng latte, and had some of the Dendrobium officinale of the traditional Chinese medicine infused into a nice trendy little latte.
A Dendrobium tea.
That's right. The flavors were unique.
Did you like it?
I mean, if it's good for me, I'll go for it. And like the coffee in the morning, if that's also a health food, superfood, that's a win-win. The ginseng flavor, I don't mind ginseng flavor, but when it comes into a latte, I'm not sure if the combination works. But if it's making me healthy, it's good for a little change up. I got a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner diagnosis. Massage always feels nice. He hit some pressure points for me. That was a very good tactile experience. We tried some very expensive aged vinegar, super sour, and some of that was infused with traditional Chinese herbs and mushrooms. So seeing that ancient brought together to the contemporary, and of course there's a big concerted push to increase domestic consumption here. So to see what Chinese goods were on offer was really, really impressive to me. So that's our pavilions covered. I think now we're going to move on to a bit more of our journalistic inquiry, what we came here for, and we also got to do a lot of interviews. Now, I know I got to do some very, very interesting interviews with some very big movers and shakers in their departments, and I know you guys did as well. I'd love to hear about it. What was your most exciting and interesting and intriguing interview that you managed to get during the expo?
I think I will say it's the Japanese pavilion, because I bet you guys wouldn't know that. What it's made of. Just give it a try. What it's made of. The Japanese pavilion. Bricks? The material.
Made of sushis.
Glass.
Glass?
No.
It's minimalist, I guess.
It's actually pretty eco-friendly. Yeah, it's paper. It's 100%
Paper. Paper pavilion.
Yeah, because green consumption is actually one of the major themes of this year's expo. And the Japanese pavilion is made with a paper. So that means it's 100% recyclable. It's a low-impact product. And you know what? After the expo is finished, it's down, the material can be reused again for next year's expo. So you don't need to throw away, and you don't have to pay to cheap. Yeah, it's fine.
We're going to use the same paper next year?
Yeah. So that's pretty durable.
Yeah.
And it's fireproofing, because we always thought like the paper is easy to get fire, but actually not. It's pretty fireproofing.
Oh.
So yeah, I think that's the kind of the new material that I never saw before, and that's kind of a design mentality that's really impressive. I think that's maybe the future way, the more sustainable way that we might host this kind of expo and conference.
Yeah, the most interesting interview I had is definitely at the Singaporean pavilion. I remember clearly that actually at the first I was planned to have an interview with one or two representatives from the Singaporean company. But at the moment when the pavilion manager saw me, he just said, well, the journalist has come, and he gathered almost everyone in front of me, and he said to me that, can you interview everyone one by one? Oh. So I just feel the warm and welcoming attitude that they toward the Chinese people and the Chinese market. And there's a quote, interview from the interview that I still remember clearly, that one of the representatives said that Chinese economy and Chinese markets is just like a strong wind, and if someone catch it, the wind can carry them to an open sea. So I think it's a very good metaphor, and this quote shows their views on the Chinese market. I think it's really impressive. Yeah.
Poetic.
Yeah.
So I think what impressed me most was my interview with the China CEO of Ducati, a renowned world motor brand. Why that impressed me most because he's really handsome and he's very attractive. Yeah, but what he said to me is that he's surprised to learn that now the number of female riders in China is on the rise. So Ducati will also launch some female-friendly models to meet the needs of the Chinese female consumers.
Oh,
yeah. So
I'm curious about what it looks like. What is a female rider?
I think it would definitely look like. I think it would definitely look much more prettier than the.
Okay, aesthetically more pleasing.
Yeah, exactly. And also another thing that really impressed me was my talk with an exhibitor from Slovakia, who actually is Slovakian first time to attend the Hainan Expo, and he told me he has to leave in advance. But I said, why you have to leave now? He said he doesn't want to, but he had to because all his products have been sold out. So just in 2 days, he sold out all his products. So he's really surprised and he was very happy about it.
Nothing to offer.
Yeah.
Nothing to offer.
Yes, I think this is two things that
people were ready to consume.
Good problem to have, selling out early. Oh, it's a good indication.
Do you have an interview you really...
Yeah, there was a couple that I can group together. DFS there, Duty Free Shoppers, is a big company and very important here in Hainan particularly. And I spoke to their China president, Nancy Liu, and I also spoke to the China president of LVMH, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, which is the world's largest retail, luxury retail conglomerate. And they are the parent company, majority holders of shares for DFS. Now, speaking to those two back-to-back, day after day, almost together, had their ideas fresh in my mind when I was sort of preparing for the interviews for both. And they were very, very different for different reasons. DFS, as some people may know, have a massive development happening down in Sanya. It's the DFS Yalong Bay project, and some industry estimates put the cost of that development exceeding US $1 billion. So it's a big, big show down there. 7-star retail entertainment precinct. They're expecting or forecasting by 2030 to have 16 to 18 million visitors per year. And so that's thousands of jobs for Hainan. So my preparation for the questions often, especially for a global business program, is a lot of facts, figures, details. You know, we're talking about business. And Nancy Liu very much talked about ideas and shaping the business and what's happening in China and further afield, and how Chinese consumers, international consumers are evolving and how they differ. Andrew Wang from LVMH was not so much into the details of the business. He wasn't talking numbers and investment. he was talking visions for Hainan. What he wants to build here, not necessarily in bricks and mortar, but what he wants to imbue here in terms of an ecosystem, he called it. And I got to ask him questions about, well, extend that analogy, if Hainan is an ecosystem, what is the biodiversity lacking? And he said they need to attract a broad array of talent here. He's sort of thinking that if they can get themselves into a place where you've got a vast array of talented people from all walks of life with different skill sets, then you can build a more varied ecosystem, and then the retail and then the money will flow from that. So it was very interesting to have that kind of discussion and interview about not necessarily just that particular project, but how such a massive international player views Hainan and its future.
I think I have just kind of interesting point adding to your interview with DFS China President, also what you said about the ecosystem. So because Hainan back in 2020 has released the overall plan for the construction of Hainan Free Trade Port, so that's when Hainan started to have this plan, the talent recruitment plan of 1 million people. So we're now halfway through. But I think what you just mentioned is a very good project, meaning that Hainan's progressing towards its goal.
Yeah, very excited to see what happens. And that's due to open next year. So yeah, very exciting to see how that goes.
Well, you're going to come and visit?
I'll have to get down to Sanya. Well, actually, yeah, that would be nice.
It's interesting they're looking for people and not robots yet.
Not yet, yeah.
We're not being replaced totally by robots.
Yeah. Actually, Nancy Liu also spoke about a butler service is going to be part of the offerings in this development, or perhaps more broadly for DFS shopping experience, talking about the experiential retail. And she talked about, we think of butlers as being something only very, very, very wealthy people can afford, but she talked about and used the term democratization of luxury. I'm very keen.
Okay.
Leveraging AI to take online algorithms offline and to know what people want, what they need, what their preferences are, what they're most likely to be interested in buying in a physical retail sense before they step foot in. Not sure whether they use facial recognition, or if you're signed up as a DFS member, or they have your details some other, of course, legal way. And then you come into the shop, it already knows who you are as you come in, and that butler is ready to go with your offerings for the day, perhaps. I'm really interested to see what that looks like, how that shapes, how that feels, what that costs. But perhaps that may be a little bit further on down the road, at least next year. Whether we see that up and running straight away in Yalong Bay or not, very keen to find out.
Well, does that mean that one day AI will know the humans much more than a salesperson?
Quite likely, yeah. And will we need a human salesperson physically there to execute the research or the data? I think the human touch is always going to be important, particularly if we're looking more at experiential retail. Personally, I find AI stuff to be useful in some ways, but yeah, it lacks that human touch. I'd like to think especially making big purchasing decisions, I'd like there to be more human involved in that.
Do you use DeepSeek?
I do,
For your daily work?
Very much so, absolutely. Yeah, leveraging it to especially find Chinese details. I mean, before DeepSeek came out, I was a user of different AI platforms, and collating information, I guess using it as an advanced search tool, as opposed to using your search engines to get some details, and of course getting the links to go back through. It's a more defined way to look for things, as opposed to just punching something into a search engine, getting 20 hits, and then having to do the drudge work of working your way through and finding that nugget or information that you're looking for. You'll get there eventually, but it's just a quicker conduit to that information, I find. Particularly DeepSeek's valuable working in China. If I'm looking for Chinese content, I think the various AI platforms have their strengths, and of course DeepSeek has been learning off other AI platforms, but of course has a lot of, or probably more Chinese content in the large language model for it to access. So I think for particularly Chinese content, DeepSeek is the way to go.
Cool, good to know that.
It is a useful tool. No, go ahead.
I was just about to say that hopefully one day, I still miss that human touch as you just mentioned. We all miss the old, I'm not so sure about you guys, but I do miss the old times that we went shopping with our friends and families and talking to a salesperson. So that's a lovely timing.
Yeah. Good to experience the products too, which was great about the expo. There was so much to not just see, there was so much to do, to taste, to feel. I didn't get a chance to go on the hill, the fake snow slope, but I saw a lady doing a stand-up for her TV show, for her news package, whilst on the slope, which was very impressive.
Oh,
that looked
wow.
very, very cool. Yeah, so that's fun technology. That was very interactive. It was great to see.
But yeah, it can't be the same as being in nature.
No, although not as cold.
Oh, yeah, true.
It's
People
very
who
good.
can't stand the cold,
Very true.
or for people who don't have the climate, oh, it's getting windy.
It
You
is.
were, yeah.
So we'll keep our volume up and keep projecting for our wonderful audience. I lost track a little bit there. We got so sidetracked and we digressed into some obviously interesting stuff, and that's really nice. But we didn't get to the interviews for you lovely ladies. Melina, your most impressive
You were
interview.
talking about the human touch. One of the people I got to interview, so the representative of Super Diet, the brand I was talking about, he shared with me some of the stories about getting to know the Chinese market, and I found it interesting because he sounded very excited, very passionate about the human connections between his team and Chinese consumers and Chinese partners, and the way he actually realized how France and China have in common in health, especially in the value of traditions and natural products when you talk about Chinese medicine. So there's a lot of bonds that are created between people, and I think that's very important. I think that's also what Hainan is about, not only AI and robots and new technologies, but also about human connections. It's a place where cultures meet and great business stories start also.
I love that part, the human connection. I think that's the most valuable part for enterprises, to establish deep connection with consumers and truly understand what's their real demand.
Yeah.
And how about yourself? Did you have any standout interviews from the week?
Actually, I didn't really go to have some interviews for the first 1 or 2 days, but I do have some like people-to-people exchanges. So I hosted some events by the CICPE community. It's the VIC events, which refers to the very important clients from Bank of China, as well as Construction Bank of China. So look, here's the bigger picture. So how to measure if an exposition is held successfully? There are 3 key standards. For one is how many brands or the quality of brands that are participated in one expo, and second of all is the media exposure. How many media come? I think for this year there are media from 21 countries and regions came to Hainan to cover for it. But for the third one though is about the money, the amount of deals that have been made during the CICPE session. So my event was more for on the third one. So for the clients, the private clients who have high value assets and who wants to buy things on the site. So those events are catering for them who wanted to more like personal and private buying session. So it was wonderful one day. We were at the CDF Mall and we were introducing them some of Hainan culture, traditional costumes, everything on the whiskey museum. And we've invited some local media as well as friends, and they had a good time. Some whiskey, some wine, some food, cold beverage. Yeah, that's a good time.
That's a good time. Here we got colourful drinks, colourful conversations, colourful ladies. With some excellent discussion and discourse. Yeah, nice to work through those things. The best pavilions we experienced, the best interviews, the people-to-people connections, and cutting deals. Sometimes that's business. That is, at the end of the day, what it's all about. But it doesn't happen without leading through all those important things first. I think also I'd like to get on to Now, just finally, while I've got a little bit more time to go through each of us quickly, what was our favorite thing about Haikou or Hainan, perhaps outside the expo, more expansive? Before we get there though, we haven't referenced, we've got 6 panelists here.
Yeah.
Who are these little yellow fellas?
We didn't introduce them.
Yeah,
There's
there's
the mascot for
the
this year's
Hainan
expo.
Yeah, it's called
You guys
We actually have the black one and the yellow one.
Yeah,
But here I didn't buy the black one because
So, still very cute.
yeah.
Exactly.
So for 消国会, which is the Consumer Products Expo, Chinese. I'm explaining to you.
They're actually Hainan gibbons.
Yeah.
And
And they're endangered like species in the world
yeah.
now.
I think there are like only like no more than 50
yes.
gibbons left
Oh,
in
really?
the world. Yeah.
No, which is why the sustainability part of the expo and in everything we do in business is pretty important to look after endangered species like those guys. But now to our favorite things about Hainan Haikou, the best things you encountered on the trip. Do you, Sue? What was your highlight of the week? Not necessarily at the expo.
I will say definitely coconut. I have so much coconut water, coconut latte these days.
Yes.
I just find that here people are so creative at using coconut, blend it into everything they could. Like coconut cake, coconut sticky rice. You can find coconut everywhere.
Coconut's everything.
Yeah.
Coconut latte's big favorite. No, that was excellent. Super, super nice.
I would say so because I'm first time here in Haikou in Hainan. So my first impression is the unique environment here, because Haikou is not like other city in China. This has a very good ocean views and the buildings and the cityscape is really beautiful. So I think it's an exciting place both for the shoppers and for the business. Because in Hainan there is a lot of good policies, the free trade policies and the duty-free shops. So people coming here, they can explore here and shop here, and then go out straight to the beach. So it's a great experience. I think everyone will love here.
Did you have the chance to visit any like beach or duty-free shop?
I visited one, but my time here is so it's not much, so I didn't have a chance to buy something. But I think, well, maybe in the future, the next time I come here, I would have a list that what things I will buy. So yeah.
Okay, so like what impressed me most is that Haikou is full of people coming from the northeast of China. So as someone who is born and being raised in northeast China, so it feels like I'm back home. Yeah. Because I can tell from their accent. So I'm very happy to be here in Haikou.
But very different climates.
Yeah, like so different. Because in Harbin, sometimes in winter, it can get to like minus 30 degrees. But here, it's a tropical city.
Yeah.
So I guess the weather is one main reason why many people from the northeast of China choose to live here.
Trying to escape the cold. Yeah, I think it's part of the reasons. Same for me, the environment, the climate, the beach, the energy, a lot of hardworking people who have a lot of ambitions. It was very interesting. I hope I get to discover the touristic side of it more, because we were too busy working. I think we were all very, very busy working. Yeah.
It's a shame that you didn't get a chance to really look around, because Hainan has so much to offer. Other than the capital city of Haikou, there is Sanya, the one in which I think you're going to.
Yeah, very soon.
Very soon. And then there are Wuji Mountain, where those cute little ones are from. Yes. Sunshine Beach and Coconut as well. But for me, I think it's the arrival of you guys make me really happy and joyful for being here for about 4 to 5 years. I know the hospitality of the local people. Now I'm like growing like them. Yes, so
We'll come back.
Oh yeah, you should.
Super nice. Yeah. I think very specifically, I would say my favorite discovery here outside of the expo has been the yellow pepper chili sauce. That seems a Hainan specialty.
Hainan Airlines,
yeah,
they serve the paper.
oh, it's excellent. It's really good. I'd like to think I can handle my spice, and I'm an aficionado of my spice conserves and relishes and sauces, and that's a good one.
You should bring some.
I went straight on to Taobao and took a photo and ordered it. There's going to be some waiting at my apartment when I get home. I can't wait to have some more.
Supermarket shelves.
Fantastic. I'll be getting more and more. And also, more broadly than that, still food-based, food and drink-based, was Lao Ba Cha. We got to do our very first full day here. We got to go on the Lao Ba Cha bus, the big pink double-decker bus, and do a tour of the sights and the delights of Haikou. I got to trial a few of the foods and have some tea. And then we did a whole specialized package at a Lao Ba Cha restaurant. And I was really, really impressed to see so many young families and kids there as well. I mean, Lao Ba Cha means old dad tea, but it's something about based in an old tradition of Hainanese people, and basically just going out and having a morning tea or an afternoon tea, relaxing with family and friends, and snacking on some delightful treats. It's also coffee, it's not just tea. I had a really nice Hainanese coffee. I've been impressed with the locally grown coffee.
Yeah, the coffee is different
yes,
from the way that it's made in different regions. So in Hainan, it's mixed with this milk cream, I think.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a condensed milk kind of sort of vibe. It was a great combination. That was really, really enjoyable.
Because in Hainan, there are many overseas Chinese coming back from overseas, especially in Southeast Asian countries. Yeah. So they brought the way of brewing different coffees back here in Hainan. So that is why the coffee that you drink here is probably different from any other provinces in China.
No, I certainly enjoyed it. Yeah, the cafe in the hotel had some good locally grown coffee. I'm going to go home with half a kilo of that as well. So I'm going home with some Hainanese produce. Yeah, coffee, spice. I probably don't have enough space or weight limit for some coconuts, but I'd love to take some fresh ones back. No, the produce here has been excellent. How it's prepared is nice, and how it is enjoyed is also really, really pleasant. It's a relaxed atmosphere, it's tropical, it's the way it should be. A lot of pandan infused into the food, a lot of coconut, of course. It was really, really nice.
Is it pandan or avocado?
I guess it is. I had many sips, but I don't know what it is.
It looks healthy.
Yeah, that's what matters.
Mine is apple juice and carrot.
Oh, super healthy.
Yes, and yours
we've got some OJ. Yeah, keeping my vitamin C up.
I think this. Mine is the mango with coconut.
Do you want to try it for me? Maybe you can tell.
I can tell. What's mine?
I smell like yogurt.
Yeah, yogurt. Green yogurt.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, avocado lassi perhaps. It looks nice.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit thick.
Avocado. I can't taste avocado.
Is the purple one, is it dragon fruit?
No, guess what's that? What's that inside?
The blueberries maybe, no?
Blueberry?
Okay, you guys so smart.
Tamarind? Blueberry.
Oh,
what is
that's
that?
why.
It's mango in the coconut water.
Nice.
Oh, coconut, more coconut.
So nice, thank you.
Good combination. No,
We trust our crew.
got to keep hydrated, got to keep healthy. It feels good. And the water temperature was exceptional. I was very lucky to live by the ocean for a lot of my time in Australia. Now based in Beijing, I haven't seen the ocean for a very, very long time.
Missed it.
And to get the hotels right across the road from the beach, one of the first things I did, of course, got my work done, and then went straight to the
With
beach.
your computer.
And yeah, in the water, up to my waist, just still had my phone on WeChat doing some work. But no, the water temperature was so close to perfect. When it's a warm day, you want that little bit of chill to take the edge off. Sometimes when you've got tropical places, the water can be a little bit lukewarm. You don't get that refreshing hit. But here I found it absolutely perfect. And yeah, going to Wanning next, going to Ruyue Bay, going for a surf, hopefully. I mean, we've got a little bit of storm action around, which has made it a little bit windy. I hope the audio hasn't been too affected, but sometimes with some storm action, it brings in a little bit of swell for the surfing, so I'm not disappointed. Is that the right place to go for a surf?
Yes, it is definitely
Very good.
the best place to go.
Very good to hear. I'm very excited.
But that won't be for work. Will you live stream it for us?
Don't remind
Potentially.
people.
No, we need to see that.
Don't remind them.
Well, I'll take one of the packs, and we'll do a broadcast.
Yeah,
We'll bring it
bring
back.
them with you.
I'll get a waterproofing case. I'll get some live stream from inside the barrel.
Yeah,
I'll
we
be
don't
doing
want to
some
miss
live
this
stream.
content.
hanging tent on the front. We'll just keep the stream going. There might be some good content.
Yeah.
I'll justify, make it tax deductible, make it a work trip.
Lincoln's legal holiday. It's his
Do not
legal
miss
holiday.
Figure it out. Nice. And do you guys have any other, well, you may have some other recommendations for people who visit Hainan and where they should go, not just to Wanning, not Ruyue Bay. We've talked about Sanya, talked about the mountain where these cute little guys
Oh
are
yes,
from.
actually, yeah, I want to reintroduce to you guys again. So those are the Uji Mountains region. It's located in the middle part of Hainan. It covers about, so the tropical rainforest, the area of tropical rainforest covers about 1/7 of Hainan in total, the land area. And it's got an altitude of 1,867. 1,867 because there's a bicycle team called 1,867. Yes. So yeah, that's where those cute ones are from. And so most recently, the villages actually in the mountainous region has grown and revitalized. I think you guys might go and check. And there are different industries that's coming up. For example, the tea industry. So the Uji green tea as well as black tea, they're the best. Yeah.
So I was wondering why it's called Uji Mountain, because it's like the shape.
That's out of my reach.
We should ask Geek.
Yeah, actually, in the novel of Monkey King, I think they got this. The Monkey King was under this Uji Mountain. Although I'm not sure if it's that Uji Mountain.
But the name is quite interesting.
Yeah. They got the same name.
Uji as in five fingers.
Five fingers.
Is those characters? The Wu and Zhi.
Yes.
The same characters.
Same characters.
Oh, okay.
So that's the preservation place for these gibbons.
Yes, and as well they have elk deer. It's also another endangered species, the animal in there. Yeah.
Is there like a national park there, people that can visit?
Yes, it's actually among one of the first batch of China's national park that's set up here. So it's the whole name. The full name is the Uji, the tropical rainforest of Uji Mountain, Hainan tropical rainforest.
Can you hike to the summit? Is that
I think there are different areas open to tourists,
Okay.
And it's going to be hard if you if you want to climb, because some of the routes, like not many people have tried
Wow,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like an adventure.
Yeah, but it's going to be a very adventurous hiking for you.
Cool.
If you want to try.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I've heard many of my friends, they've tried,
Okay.
but they often accompanied by maybe a group of people and equipped with tents and stuff.
Yeah.
It's intense.
All right. Yeah, and probably hopefully some local guides so you don't get too
Yeah.
lost. All right. No, that sounds like a very fun.
Yeah, you
adventurous
should find a
experience.
local tour guide.
Absolutely, yeah. Local knowledge is important. Don't want to get lost in the rainforest. Otherwise, you might be hanging out with the gibbons.
Yeah. No, it's really hard to find them.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Have you been to this national park?
Yes, but although I never stepped really inside
I see.
into the park because it's really big, and to protect the environment, some areas are restricted just to protect those animals, endangered animals.
Have you ever seen a gibbon?
Oh, I wish I'd seen it, but maybe here, yes. That's the closest. Can I hold it? Thank
We've
you.
seen a lot of them these few days.
Oh yeah, really.
Yeah, they were everywhere.
Oh, yeah, it's cute.
And this flower as well, that's a typical...
It's another typical plant you can find in Hainan. It's the bougainvillea flower.
Yeah, we have those in Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, bougainvillea.
Yeah, no, it's,
Flowers.
there you go. No, I know exactly what you mean. They're very pretty, especially when they're full bloom. They can be massive.
In springtime.
Yeah, they're huge. No, very nice. Very, very nice.
Here you
Very
go.
cool. Oh, hey, little fella, yuan yuan.
Oh, actually, we have
Or
xiao
xiao
xiao.
xiao. Okay, all right, come on. Do
Xiao Xiao, right?
Yeah, no, very cool.
cat.
Out here making mates. Good stuff all round.
Australian mate. Hi, mate.
We have no monkeys in Australia. So monkeys fascinate me.
No monkeys?
No monkeys at all. We have tree kangaroos. That's about the closest that we get.
Kangaroos.
So monkeys,
Koala.
yeah, koalas. That's the tree climbing.
So many
animal.
animals and no monkeys.
No monkeys. Just humans. Yeah.
Which is pretty close.
That's as close as you get. So monkeys fascinate me and terrify me in even proportions because I know how to deal. Australia gets a bad rap for having a lot of dangerous or wild animals, and yeah, we do. But
Big snake.
well, yeah, we learn how to live with them and what to do to be safe. Whereas
Have you ever
I don't know what to do with monkeys. I see one and
Okay.
it scares me. It's good, you know.
Have you ever encountered any big snakes and
Yeah.
spiders in
Yeah.
your home?
Yeah, not so much in home, not as occasionally, but yeah, it happens. It happens for sure. Generally, the big spiders are not super dangerous ones. They're kind of friendly ones. They'll eat the mosquitoes and the other bad bugs that you want to get rid of. So
Okay.
they're kind of good friends to have around. You don't want to kill them too much.
It's okay, you're safe in Hainan.
Good,
we
yeah,
protect you.
Nice. No, it's pretty nice to go for a walk in the bush and not worry about deadly animals. You know, so
That's why you look so relaxed.
Under our protection.
see, I'd be a ball of nerves if we were doing this in Australia. You have to keep watch out for the sharks, the spiders and
So
snakes.
dangerous.
Dingoes coming out everywhere. But no,
Wow.
it's a very safe place and you all should visit.
I've never noticed that Australia has this bougainvillea flowers. It's the first time you told me. I've never noticed it.
I suspect
After
if
being there for like 4 years.
there you go. Maybe not so much in the south. Maybe it's a tropical flower. Perhaps in
okay.
the north of Australia.
Oh, right.
Whether there's a native variant that is in Australia that I'm thinking of, or whether it's something that's been exported from China or different parts of the world to Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, that's quite possible. But we definitely do have them. It's a beautiful plant.
Yeah, because you live in the north, I think, right?
Certain parts of Australia.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
lived a lot in the north. Yeah, so it's tropical plants do very, very well. Tropical fruits as well. Kind of somewhat of a homecoming to come back to some tropical climate here, especially after spending so much time in Beijing, getting through a long, cold, dry Beijing winter.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I'm still breathing, still alive. My skin's still
You should try
still attached.
Dongbei.
Yeah, you should try Harbin.
I haven't been all the way up to Harbin, but I have been around to Dongbei in Shenyang, Changchun, Dalian, Jilin. Unfortunately, I went before winter set in, so it was cooler, but not so ridiculously cold. I went for a swim in Dalian. It was okay. Not as nice as Hainan water.
Not in winter.
No, it was in about October last year, so it was bearable. It was all right, but not too bad. I was surprised. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
You guys have a good time. I'm so enjoying the wind and night view here.
It's been exceptional.
nice.
Speaking of the weather, I think this temperature currently with a nice cool little sea breeze is about perfect.
Are you guys ready to move into Hainan with me? I hope you are.
Yes.
I really like the seats here. So maybe in the future I will buy a house here, but it's just a dream.
Sign up now. It's your chance. Sign up now if you want to move to Hainan. Sign up now and I can take you down to maybe Sanya or maybe Wanning.
Sounds wonderful.
That's very
I'll be your
nice.
tour guide.
Put me on the list, and I think this is a really good timing of the year to explore Hainan and also the expo.
Yes, you're right.
Expertly
Actually,
positioned in the year for good weather.
Yeah, they have this yacht exhibition happening these few days in Sanya.
Yeah, we didn't get to see it.
Shame.
Next time,
Welcome back.
I'm already planning my look in next year to how I'm going to perhaps get to come back to the Hainan Expo next year, or do I have to share it to one of my colleagues? But I would definitely love to come back again, or perhaps I'll have to come back in my own time. Wait for the peak surf season and get back to Wanning. I think it's something I'd love to do.
Yeah, and you should also try kite surfing in Wanning.
Right, yeah, something I've never tried. Usually just sticking to regular traditional surfing on the wave. That looks really difficult, and I've seen some horror videos of people getting picked up in big gusts of wind and terrified and carried out to
looks
sea.
scary.
I feel like the waves come into shore, so at worst you're going to get washed on the beach. Hopefully not onto some rocks, that's a bad result, but if the breeze just keeps taking you out to sea, that terrifies me a little, but okay, perhaps. If this is the right place to do it, I could perhaps do that.
Yeah, definitely for more holidays next time. Yeah.
I think all of us enjoying tonight and enjoying this year's expo.
Definitely, yeah.
Definitely. And thank you so much for this live streaming. And I hope all of you guys enjoying it. And stay tuned for CGT and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and X. And I will see you next year for the expo. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.